Hello and welcome back to Ready Steady DIY. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button. Well, recently I purchased a bunch of IKEA Tibast curtains, and today I'm going to give you my review. Do they let in enough light? Are they durable enough to hold up under normal use? What's good about them? What's bad about them? And most importantly, how do they compare to the much more popular IKEA Rita curtains? The Ritvas are sort of the darlings of the design world. Most YouTube channels about design and design blogs recommend the Ritvas. So I took a look at them, I compared them to the Tibast, and today I'm going to tell you what I think. This is an entirely unsponsored and honest review based on what I think having both of these in my house. So if you're down for that, let's get going. So I'll tell you, I've worked in the film and television industry for over 20 years, and in that time, I have shot a few design shows. It's kind of a hard thing to avoid when you work in this business. There's just so many of them. And one thing I've noticed about all of the designers I've worked with is on the show, they'll tell you that IKEA products are terrible and you should not buy them. But then, when no one's looking, up go the IKEA curtains. Because you can't really tell, right? IKEA curtains are pretty nice looking curtains. And especially on a TV show, it's pretty easy to fake that they're higher end curtains than they really are. I recently moved, I think as you know, they had to put up curtains because you can't walk around your house without curtains. And I had to do it in a hurry. So down to IKEA I went, and I grabbed the curtains that were available. That meant choosing between two, the Rita and the Tibast. Generally speaking, both the Rita and the Tibast curtains are considered light filtering curtains by IKEA. That means as white curtains go, they let a certain amount of light in, but they keep people from outside the window from being able to see in to a certain extent. The Rita comes in three sizes. It comes in 57 inch by 65 inch, 57 inch by 98 inch, and 57 inch by 118 inch panels. You get two per pack. At time of making this video, the only size that I can find in any IKEA or online for the Tibast is 57 inches by 98 inches. IKEA says that both the Tibast and the Rita curtains are made of 100% cotton and that they have a 4% shrinkage rate. If you look at the care instructions that are sewn into the curtains, you'll see that the Rita curtains say you can tumble dry them and the Tibast curtains say you cannot tumble dry them. I find that not being able to tumble dry curtains doesn't really matter. You can just hang them and then they dry. It's actually better to do it that way because when they're damp and you hang them up, any wrinkles that might have been in them generally fall out because of gravity. It's kind of a better idea not to tumble dry them. The IKEA Rita curtain is popular with designers for three reasons, I think. First reason, it comes in three sizes. So if you're a designer and it's your job, you gotta walk into a house, you gotta do some redesigning, and you know that you can get a Rita curtain super cheap in a bunch of different sizes, that's gonna benefit you and your job greatly. It comes with tie backs and they're free, they're just sitting there in the package. That's kind of a bonus. But most importantly, it has this sort of linen feel to it. Linen is a fabric that is made from flax. Cotton obviously is made from the cotton plant. Cotton generally is softer and a little bit less hardy. Numbers I'm reading suggest that cotton is about 30% weaker than linen. And you can feel that when you touch a piece of linen. Linen curtains are pretty expensive. They're gonna last a long time, but they're very expensive. So designers are often looking for a way to emulate the linen look and not spend all the money. Enter the Rita curtain. It definitely feels and looks like linen. It has a drape to it that is very linen-like, and it feels stronger. According to IKEA, it's made of cotton, so it's not actually stronger. It just looks like it is. But I actually have kind of a problem with that linen-y feel. It doesn't feel very luxurious to me. It's a little bit thinner. You can see through this curtain a little bit more easily than you can through the Tibast. But also there's this pattern that's sort of sewn into the cotton, and I guess that gives it more of a linen look to folks. But I really find the pattern distracting. You definitely can see it when it's hanging up on your window, and there's light behind it. It's really clear that there's a pattern sewn into that cotton. And I guess for some folks it really works. It has that sort of modern farmhouse look that has been popularized by Pottery Barn or Crate and Barrel. But I just don't like that look. It doesn't seem very elegant to me. When I looked at the Rita curtains hanging right next to the Tibast curtains, I really preferred the Tibast curtains. There is a pattern in the Tibast curtains too. You won't see it from a distance. When you get up close though, it's a nice sort of herringbone weave that's in the cotton, and I just really like it. It feels softer. It feels a little bit more luxurious. I get the sense that it would insulate the window just a little better. I mean, we're not talking about insulated curtains here, but it does seem like it would insulate the window just a smidge more. Both curtains, both the Rita and the Tibast, once you wash them, they will shrink. I found that with my curtains, I I washed them. I did not dry either. And they both shrank about 1 inch in warm water. You should be ready for that. You know, with white curtains, you're probably gonna have to wash them someday. So you should wash them before you put them up and size where your curtain rod's gonna go so that you don't get a surprise when you have to wash them the first time and they shrink up a bit. I found that after washing, both curtains held up okay. There were a few little threads that had popped out in the wash, and I'm gonna guess that after 20 or 30 washes, that kind of problem gets worse and worse. But I don't wash my curtains that often, maybe once a year, maybe. So these are gonna last probably a while for me. When they come out of the package, they come out sort of an ivory color. I think a lot of people think white is white. They definitely looked off-white coming out of the package. Both the Ritvas and the Tibasts were like that. But after you wash them, I don't know if it's because they get a little thinner or what, but they definitely got brighter and whiter with one wash. And then once you have some light behind them, they both glow a nice sort of white, glowy look. I think you're gonna be happy with the light transmission in both. Just to be thorough, I pulled out my light meter and took a reading. The Ritva reading was this, the Tibast reading was this. So generally speaking, the Ritvas let through a little more light than the Tibasts, but for sure, when you look through the curtain from the outside, say at night, you can see through the Ritvas much more than you can through the Tibasts. So there's sort of a trade-off there, privacy versus light transmission. I was happy with the light transmission from both, so I think if you're going for one or the other, and you like the look of the Tibasts like I do, I think the Tibasts are the ones to go for. I recommend pleating them at the top. I think that's the best way to hang any curtain. I think it looks neater. The IKEA tool to hang curtains using a hook is the readiysteadiy hook. Generally speaking, they come in packs of 20, and you will need 20 hooks to hang 2 panels. Doesn't matter whether you're talking about Tibast or Ritva. Basically, it's 10 hooks per panel, 20 per window. I couldn't get the readiysteadiy hooks because they were sold out everywhere. Every IKEA is out of hooks, global supply chain problems. So I had to go to another supplier. I bought some reasonable replicas for hooks that will pleat a curtain, and they worked fine. And basically what you do, I just used the little filaments here that are made to run like a giant curtain rod through. I use those as a guide. I put one hook in 4 to the right of those little filaments, and then I put one hook in 4 to the left of those little filaments, and that left me with one nice clean pleat. I used some rings, and then I used the little hooks that came with those rings to join the curtain hook to the ring and hung them up. That easy. I really like my IKEA Tibast curtains. It's rare that I say I really like anything from IKEA, so this review kind of means something. I think I do not like the Ritvas. If it's up to me, Tibast all the way. So hey, have you ever bought an IKEA curtain? Did it go well? Did it go terribly? I want to know about that. Please leave that in the comment section below. I'm always trying to learn about products, people's experiences with them, different hacks you've done. Let me know in the comment section below. So I hope that helped you out. If it did, please feel free to like or subscribe. Liking or subscribing really helps the channel, and if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. And otherwise, take care, stay safe, have fun with your DIY projects, and I'll see you next Saturday.